Hi guys, hope you're all well. This is Ulas. Today we'll study the changes occurring at the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. This is one of the very beautiful topic, guys. Let's get started. Guys, where is the coracobrachialis muscle coming from? Coracobrachialis muscle is coming from the coracoid process and going into the brachium. Where in the brachium? Brachium has a humerus now, it has a medial border now, it is going to the middle 5 cm of the medial border of humerus, isn't it? See here? Guys, it's coming from the coracoid process. This is the coracoid process here and this is the medial 5 cm of the medial border of humerus here, isn't it? Now guys, we are taking this as a reference zone, the level of insertion, because there are many changes happening there. Okay, we'll start with the bone now. Guys, see here, I'm cutting the bone here and cutting the bone here. This is the first point, this is the second point. Guys, see here, the first point I've cut here, now I'm seeing it is like this. So when I'm seeing it like this, it appears circular. Because there is a shaft of humerus, or basically the surgical neck, the necks of humerus there. The necks and the shaft are usually circular. Okay, the point 1 is circular. Then there is point 2. I've cut here like this now. I'm seeing it like this. So that is triangular in shape. Why triangular? Because see here, which was a shaft, it got a medial condyle and a lateral condyle. So what was one point? Now I have two additional points. What do 3 points make? 3 points make a triangle, isn't it? 3 points make a triangle. So the second point will appear triangular in shape. Okay, yes. Now let's go for the septae. What is septae? It is a modification of deep fascia. What are they doing? They are separating the compartments of muscles. In arm, basically there is anterior compartment and the posterior compartment, isn't it? The medial compartment is not well developed in arm, whereas it is developed in leg, okay, in the thigh region basically. Guys, see here, septae. What is septae? The modification of deep fascia. What deep fascias we have there? We have the modifications like medial intermuscular septum, lateral intermuscular septum. Intermuscular because they are separating groups of muscles. Okay, see, we have them now. Guys, in the lower end of humerus, below the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle, they'll become more defined. They become strong, shiny layer, like a sheet they will appear. In the upper end, not so clear. We have seen it in dissection. Now, the lower end, it's much more clearer. And even the brachialis muscle is taking origin from the anterior intermuscular septum, like the anterior part of the medial and lateral intermuscular septa over there. That's a beautiful concept. We'll study that again. Okay, guys, see here. Then we have see the medial and lateral intermuscular septae. They appear like this. See here. See, they will be not so clear like this. As they come down, they will appear more clear, like this, like this. Okay, there is a brachialis muscle which is taking origin from there. Okay, got it now? Now let's go to the muscles. What muscles? There are basically 4 muscles related to it. What are those 4 muscles? We'll be studying that now. There are 2 origins and 2 insertions, guys. 2 muscles are taking origin and 2 muscles are getting inserted near the level of insertion of coracobrachialis. Which are the muscles taking origin? There is a beautiful muscle, brachialis. It's taking origin below the level of insertion of coracobrachialis from the anterior part of the humerus and the medial and lateral intermuscular septa anterior part. Anterior part, not exactly the anterior border, the anteromedial surface and anterolateral surface of humerus. So it is taking origin from there now. It is starting somewhere here. See here? It is taking origin like this. So the brachialis muscle is present there. Then what else? The medial head of triceps. See, triceps is a muscle which extends the elbow joint, isn't it? It is taking origin from the infraclavicular tubercle, that is the long head. Then the lateral head, which is above the level of insertion of coracobrachialis, and medial head, which is below the level of insertion of coracobrachialis. It is behind. Brachialis is in the front, triceps is behind. Triceps is this muscle. Okay, see here. That is, medial head is also taking origin something like this. Medial head of triceps. This is behind, guys. Okay, this is behind. So those were the muscles which take the origin. What are the muscles getting inserted? We are studying the topic, the changes that occur in the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. So coracobrachialis muscle is one of the muscle which is getting insertion. What other muscle? We studied that in the beginning now. The muscle which is taking, which is getting inserted on the lateral aspect. That is the deltoid muscle, which is coming from the covering the shoulder basically. And getting inserted on the deltoid tubercle, which is on the lateral aspect of the humerus, isn't it? It is getting inserted there. Okay, so this was the coracobrachialis muscle now. the deltoid muscle is getting inserted like this somewhere here. So that was the insertion of deltoid muscle. Okay. So those were the muscles. Now what else? Now let's go to the arteries, the beautiful arteries, Which are those? The brachial artery. What is brachial artery? Brachial artery is the continuation of axillary artery below the lower border of teres major muscle, isn't it? So brachial artery, it's see, axillary artery is coming like this in the axilla and then continues as brachial artery in the medial side of arm. So below if this is the level of insertion of coracobrachialis, what was medial, it starts going anteriorly. What was medial, it starts going anteriorly. So that happens at the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. Then there is the profunda brachii artery. What is profunda? Profunda is deep. So what is brachii? It is the arm. Brachii is related to the arm, brachium. So the deep artery related to the arm, that is the profunda brachii artery, which is the branch of brachial artery, isn't it? So it runs in the spiral groove. But there is something else running in the spiral groove. That was the radial nerve. So radial nerve and profunda brachii artery, they are forming the contents of the lower intermuscular, lower triangular space, lower triangular intermuscular space, isn't it? So that is running in the spiral groove too. Yes, this is the spiral groove, isn't it? See, spiral groove is like this here, on the posterior aspect of the shaft of the middle of the humerus, isn't it? Now see here, guys, profunda brachii artery is coming like this, isn't it? It is coming like this, and it is giving branches. Which one are they? The anterior descending branch and the posterior descending branch. Anterior is front, posterior is behind. So they are taking origin from the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle from the profunda brachii artery, isn't it? Now see here, that is, now we have the superior ulnar collateral artery. It is a branch of brachial artery. Brachial artery is medial to anteriorly it is going. It is the branch of superior ulnar collateral, and it pierces the intermuscular septum. Why does it pierce the intermuscular septum? See guys, any structure, if it pierces the intermuscular septum, it is either going from deep to superficial or superficial to deep usually. Now see here, guys, brachial artery was in the medial side and then going to front like this. Now see guys, this is the brachial artery. Okay, it is giving a superior ulnar collateral artery. See, usually in the medial epicondyle, medial side will have a medial epicondyle. It goes below that. Okay, it goes below that, the superior ulnar collateral, and it has a girlfriend. The superior ulnar collateral artery has a girlfriend. What is that girlfriend? That girlfriend is the ulnar nerve. Ulnar nerve and superior ulnar collateral artery go together below the medial epicondyle. Guys, see here, this is the medial epicondyle. This is the medial epicondyle. You can see here now, and this is the ulnar nerve and the superior ulnar collateral artery. They are going like this. Okay, they both are the structures below the medial epicondyle. We have a very interesting scenario there. We'll study that as soon as we go into the elbow joint. Okay. Now we have the nutrient artery. Nutrient artery. What is the artery? Nutrient artery is a branch of any artery which is supplying the bone, isn't it? So how does it enter humerus? It enters humerus through the nutrient foramen. And what direction is it pointed, guys? While studying the general anatomy, now we studied a very beautiful concept. Now the nutrient artery enters the bone away from its direction of growth. Now see here, the nutrient artery and the humerus, it usually grows through the upper end. So the nutrient artery will enter downwards like this. It will enter downwards like this. So it is entering through the nutrient foramen. Okay. Usually the nutrient artery for the humerus will be a branch of the brachial artery itself. Okay. Okay guys, now let's study about the veins. What are veins? Veins are the blood vessels which carry the blood towards the heart, aren't they? Now the veins of the arm can be divided into superficial veins and the deep veins. The superficial veins are the cephalic vein and the basilic vein. Basilic vein is medially, cephalic vein is laterally. Okay, we'll study that in detail soon. Now guys, see the basilic vein, it usually comes here and ends here. Okay, if it is a superficial vein, right, it is going and usually it drains into the brachial vein. So if it is coming like this and draining into the brachial vein is a deep vein. So this basilic vein is a superficial vein. If it is coming like this, there is a intermuscular septum. It has to, if it has to go into the brachial vein, it has to pierce it now, pierce it and then go into the brachial vein. So it pierces the deep fascia. Where does it pierce? it pierces at the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. Usually it's the medial intermuscular septa itself. Then there is a venae comitatus. What is venae comitatus? Venae comitatus are like chamchas of brachial artery. Any artery, usually the small sized arteries, they are the two veins which are going along with the artery. They are going together. Okay. Those are the venae comitatus of brachial artery. That has a very interesting function, guys. Whenever the blood is flowing through the artery, the pressure will be high, it will give pulsations like this, the artery. So the veins are around, those pulsations help to propel the blood forward. So that can improve the venous return. Isn't it interesting? Yes. Now let's go to the next topic, guys. The most beautiful topic, that is the nerves. What are nerves? Nerves are the bundle of myelinated axon outside the CNS. That's basically the definition. Guys, for ease of understanding, nerve is basically like a wire, or you can imagine like roads. They just take signals from here to here, from here to here, isn't it? Now, what are the nerves in the arm? That is the median nerve. Median nerve is a branch of, yes, it has a lateral root and it has a medial root. Lateral root from lateral cord, medial root from medial cord. They both are joined to form the median nerve. Now guys, median nerve, it is usually present lateral to the brachial artery in the upper part of arm. See here, brachial artery is here, median nerve is here. But what happens when it is coming below the level of insertion of coracobrachialis? It crosses the brachial artery from lateral to medial. Like if this is the brachial artery here, the median nerve, if this is the lateral aspect, this is the medial aspect. The median nerve goes like this over the brachial artery. So that happens at the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. Okay, now we have the ulnar nerve. What is it? A branch of ulnar nerve is a branch of the medial cord of brachial plexus. We studied that now. Ulnar nerve has an interesting root value too. We had studied that, isn't it? Now, ulnar nerve, guys, see here. We just studied now. See here. This is the medial epicondyle and this is the ulnar nerve and the superior ulnar collateral artery. So, is it the anterior aspect of the arm? No, it's not. It's the posterior aspect. So, but ulnar nerve, I think it was usually in the anterior aspect and the medial aspect, isn't it? How did it go posterior? It pierced the medial intermuscular septum. See, it is in the deeper aspect, but this is superficial now, it is near the skin. So if it has to go, it has to pierce through the medial intermuscular septum and it enters from medial compartment to the posterior compartment of arm. Okay, and it has a girlfriend too. Okay, ulnar nerve has a girlfriend. Which is that girlfriend? That was the the boyfriend. The boyfriend is the superior ulnar collateral artery. They both go together below the medial epicondyle. Okay, of humerus. Now we have the radial nerve. Radial nerve is a branch of posterior cord of brachial plexus. Isn't, guys, we studied that now. Now, what is the beauty of the radial nerve? Radial nerve is found in the spiral groove, isn't it? Spiral groove along with the profunda brachii artery. It is in the posterior aspect. But you know what? Radial nerve is also a content of the cubital fossa here. It is a content of cubital fossa. It's giving a superficial radial, superficial branch there. So cubital fossa is in the, and this is the cubital fossa. It is in the anterior aspect, but nerve is a posterior aspect. How did it come there? It came like this. It came this way. So, but there is something else there now which is preventing it. That is the lateral intermuscular septa. So the radial nerve, which has to come from deep to superficial. So if this is the lateral intermuscular septa, it is piercing it and coming in, and it is giving two beautiful branches there too. We'll study that soon, guys. Now, this radial nerve also has a boyfriend. Who is that boyfriend? That is the anterior descending branch of profunda brachii artery. We studied that now, guys. In the arteries, there is an anterior descending branch and the posterior descending branch. See here, this, isn't it? This was the anterior descending branch, isn't it? This is where the radial nerve also accompanies. The black one is the radial nerve. It is accompanying the anterior descending branch of profunda brachii artery. You know, there are many couples around here. Now there is the medial cutaneous nerve of arm and medial cutaneous nerve of arm. Two beautiful branches from the medial cord of brachial plexus, isn't it, guys? See, they both are coming from the deeper compartment, and see, it is a medial cutaneous nerve. Now, cutaneous is skin. Skin is superficial. Now these are the deep nerves, but they are supplying the skin, so they have to pierce the deep fascia and come here. Where do they pierce the deep fascia? They pierce the deep fascia at the level of insertion of coracobrachialis muscle. Guys, the reason why we learn this concept of the level of insertion or any level in the anatomy is there are many things happening in that particular region, isn't it? So if you just study that concept, you can get an idea of the the orientation of most of the structures in that region. Okay, we have many other interesting concepts, guys. We'll get the level of at the changes at the level of T2. Very beautiful concepts. We'll study that soon, guys. Okay, if you have any doubts, please post it in the comment section.